Welcome to chair yoga. Let's go ahead and join each other, taking a seat in your chair. When you come down to your chair, let's go ahead and start moving our body, opening and closing your knees. We're going to do a head, shoulders, knees, and toes practice today. So opening and closing, just kind of feeling the mobility in your joints. And then let's extend that out to our feet. Go ahead and lift one leg and bend and straighten the leg. And bring that leg down and go to the other leg. Just pick it up. Feel those muscles engaging right above your knee, your quads, your thighs. You want to have strong legs. And then pick up that first foot again and then do some points and flexes. And maybe a few circles. And bring it down and let's go to the other foot. Pick it up, point, flex, circle it around, play with loosening up and the mobility of your ankle and your toes. And then bring your feet down and let's go ahead and just kind of windshield wiper your knees a little bit, little tick-tock back and forth. Plant your feet down on the floor and let's bring this up to our hands now. Take your hands and reach out, spread your fingers apart, and then make a fist. Do this little movement here, extending out. So we're creating more space in our finger joints and our wrists. Do that a few more times. Really open up your fingers. And then circle around the wrist joints. And then let's feel how the elbows are working today. So go ahead and touch your shoulders. And then let's explore this other movement of the elbows. Go open and close here, just kind of like those wipers. Fingers in and then out. And then let it go and pick up one shoulder, lift it up by your ear, and then the other shoulder. Go up and down a few times, feeling into your shoulders, your ribs. Ugh. And then take your hands and press them out towards the sides. And let's take a few breaths here. Spread open your fingers really, really wide. Big lift in your chest and your head coming back over your spine. Feel the strength and the heat starting to build in your arms as you reach out. Really reach out. And then your palms facing down, reach even more. Extend out through the fingertips. Deepen your breath and then turn your fingers down and give yourself a few more breaths. And then bring your hands down and let's go into some neck rolling and nodding. Lift your chin up and then lower your chin down. And then turn your head and look to one direction. And then turn your head and look to the other direction. And choose a pacing that feels good for your neck. As always, if something doesn't feel good in your body, don't do it. Just kind of feel into what does feel good. Go back and forth. Woo. And once you practice that evenly, release one ear down towards a shoulder, stretching into the neck. If you want to add to that stretch, you can take its opposite hand and press down. And then bring your head up and let's go to the other side. Your hand can rest on your leg or reach out through the hand, fingers extending down towards the floor. Get a big lift in your chest here. Then your head coming back around to center and let both arms come down and then roll your shoulders forward. So you're spreading the stretch across your upper back. And then open your chest, lift your chin and your face, almost like we're doing this cat-cow movement in our upper spine. Chin in as you roll the shoulders forward, chin up as you open your chest. Feel everything waking up now. And then take your elbows in, your palms up, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then bring your hands around in front of you. So we're going to work on that mobility in our shoulders again. Also great for strengthening those upper back muscles and getting the juices flowing back there. That area that gets really fatigued during the day on pretty much everybody. Right in your upper shoulders, your upper back. And then take your arms up and let's do that cactus move here. So press the back of your hands towards the back wall behind you. Look at your hands for a moment. Are your hands coming forward? Can you stack the wrists over the elbows and then spread your fingers apart? This is really great and helpful for your joints, especially if you have arthritis in your hands. Open, open, open. And then let's bring the arms out in front of you. And if you can have your palms touch or your elbows come in, feel for that a few breaths. If not, just as close as you can bring them. Then open back up. And let's start coordinating now with our breaths, opening and closing. Then open and reach up with one arm. Extend as far up as you can. And this other elbow comes down. So we're working into the side obliques. And then come back up. And then go the other way, reaching out. Oh, I can tell I really need this today. Open and back to center, coordinating with your breaths. Stretching through the sides of your spine and your ribs. This will be helpful for deepening your breath to loosen up the rib cage and all those little spaces in between the ribs. Got to get some movement in there. And when we've practiced this evenly, let's go ahead and let it go and just let the arms shake out. Shake out your wrists. Shake until your wrists look blurry. Shake, 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 shake. And then bring your hands close together, almost like you're holding an orb in front of you, and just feel that prana, feel the energy there between your hands. That life force energy. And we can take that and just kind of cup around the eyes and the face and give yourself 2 or 3 more breaths. Absorbing that prana into the eyes, into the brain. And then release. Take your hands. If you do have a ring on, I want you to turn your ring and sit on your hands. And I want you to feel for your sit bones. So those bony protrusions that are there underneath your hands. And we're going to do a little cat-cow play here. I want you to feel the mobility and movement in your pelvis. So your tailbone goes back, open your chest, squeeze your shoulders like we do in cow, and then round like in cat. Tuck your chin and feel how your sit bones shift forward. Let's go back and forth. So bring this movement down into your hips and your pelvis, forward and back. Just feel what's going on in there. If this is painful for your hands, you could rest your hands on your hips so you're feeling that mobility in the pelvis. Mobility all the way down into your lower back and your lower spine. Practice this one more time with that intention, feeling movement in the lower back. And then let that go. Pull in your belly, bring your arms up again into that cactus shape, and then twist. So this is great for core work, twisting without using your hands. And then come on back to center. And then let's twist over to the other side. Back and forth. And as we're going back and forth, let the mobility come into your hips so that your hips aren't fixed as you're twisting. Let your knees kind of naturally glide and slide, one forward and then one pulls back. One more twist. And then release the arms. And let's come back to your legs. Extend out your leg. Pick a foot, pick a leg up. And do some points and flexes. You could hold the chair, rest your hands here on your legs where you're really feeling that work coming into your thighs. Point flex, circle it around. And the same leg you're working with, let's bring it up, either hands behind the knee or ocean. Sit up high onto those sit bones so you're not leaning back on the tail. And let's bring in some lubrication to your joint. So circle it around. You want to have our hips moving in all these different directions. So we're able to walk and hike and do those things that we love to do. Getting up the stairs. And then bring the knee in. Hug it in as close as you can so you're giving yourself a little squeeze. This is helpful for digestion. One more big breath. And then bring your foot down and let's go to the other side. Extend your other leg out in front of you. Hold it up there using these strong muscles of your thigh. And you can point and flex and circle here. Circle it around. Feel those muscles heating up. And then bring the knee up and let's give it a good hug, a big squeeze. Hug it up towards your chest. And then we can start that circle, loosening and lubricating your hip. Breathe down towards your pelvic floor. So let the breath start expanding into your belly when you breathe in. And when you breathe out, pull your belly toward your spine. And bring your foot down and widen out your feet a little wider than your chair. You may need to sit back a little bit. And let's go into this gliding from side to side, this little tick-tock move. And it's smaller. And you can pick up your heel if you'd like. Really feel for a rotation. This is excellent for the mobility in the low spine, the hip flexors. As we're opening up these hip flexors, it's going to help us breathe bigger too, because it's all attached under the ribs and the diaphragm, these hip flexing muscles, your psoas. And the other little accessory muscles around your hips, loosening them up. And over time, if you want to build, you can start straightening the leg, maybe give a little bit of a pause, and then go over to the other side, straighten the leg, and give a little pause. So just feel what you can do, what's accessible for you as you're going back and forth. Whew. I have one hip that's pretty sticky. So if you sit in a chair, this is such a good thing. If you sit in a chair on a long-term basis, you want to get your circulation going. So this could be really helpful. One more time. And then back into neutral. Go ahead and walk your feet in. And let's do this little stomping move, getting the circulation down to your feet. It's really good for bringing that circulation up and back to your heart. So if you have circulation issues, this is a really good thing to do. So just kind of tap your feet, kind of like when we shake our hands. You could do the same. You do both at the same time. Shake it out. Shake off the thick stuff, the sticky stuff. And then plant your feet down and take a breath, and let's witness. Feel that vibrant energy moving through that prana. Let's take this into our cats and cows again. Slide your hands towards the front of your knees, round your back, tuck your chin. And then pull your hands toward your hips, open your chest. Let's go back and forth. And maybe one more cat-cow. Let's finish with that inhale of lifting our chest, and then take one arm, reach up like you're going to pull something out of the sky, like you're reaching for the stars up there. And bring it down, and let's go to the other hand. Reach up, just kind of pull. So reach, spread your fingers apart, and then close your hand and bring it back to you. Reach and pull. And if you want to add a little John Travolta staying alive move, you could reach out, bring your legs into this. Or not, you could just keep it in the arms, or you could just continue with that swivel move that we did earlier. Stay on your chair though, don't fall. Big reach. It's gonna help us get taller, right? Open. One more reach and pull. Staying alive. And then open your knees. If they're not already, scoot yourself back, and let's go down with one shoulder and take a breath. Now I have that song in my head. Staying alive, staying alive. Ah, ah, ah. Now you have it in your head too. You're welcome. Go to the other side. Ooh. Breathing deeper. We'll call this class Staying Alive, okay? Come back, and let's go one more time. Dip the shoulder down, give it a twist in your ribs, your upper back. And go to the other side. Let's bring yourself back into neutral. Bring your feet in, and let's work on our brain a little bit here. So extend your right leg and raise your left arm. And then bring it down, and then extend your left leg and raise your right arm. Let's do these little opposite moves here. So you can stay with this, or if you'd like to bring a little elbow across and go back into like this cactus position of raising the knee and tapping elbow towards the knee or on the knee. So either those extended arms and legs or working with a little elbow to knee for core work. Feeling that rotation in your sit bones. Remember when we had our hands down there? Feel that gliding of the pelvis as you're going back and forth. Let's practice one more version of our opposite arm leg, and then let that go, and then take your arms out in front of you. And then let's go ahead and make a fist. Open one finger, open the next finger, and then out and open the hands. Open, reach back way behind you, and then make a fist. Curl your upper back and pull the fist towards your chest. So you're stretching into your wrist. Then one finger at a time opens up as your arms reach out. Get that star finger feeling. Open, open up, and then make a fist and round. We'll do this a few times. This is great for strengthening your arms and getting the mobility in the shoulders, the chest, and the upper back, even up into your neck. Oh. And some snap, crackles, and pops going on here. Reach out, and then taking one hand and bring it down onto your leg. Keep the other arm stretching out. Look opposite of the hand that's extending. And then look down towards the shoulder. Give yourself a few breaths. Lift your head, and then nod your chin down. And bring your arm around in front of you, and then bend the elbow, press your hand into your elbow and your elbow into your hand, flexing your chest. Feel the heat coming in, the strength building in your shoulder. Soften in your jaw. And then can you pick up the opposite ankle, either crossing it or bring it over your knee without using your hand? If you need to use your hand, that's perfectly fine too. But can you do it without using your hand? And then taking your arms, give yourself a hug. The one that we were just really working with, the one that feels hot right now, bring that on top, hug your arms, and then dip your elbows down towards your thighs until you spread the stretch across your upper back. Chin coming in. Lift up the elbows and the arms, and then let's go out with your arms. Release the cross of your legs, and then put that hand that we were just working with down onto your thigh. Palm of the other hand facing forward, reach back, and then look over the other shoulder. Look down towards the shoulder with your chin nodding down. And you could do these little nods or just hold the stretch where it feels good. Spread your fingers apart, really good for the wrist and the hands. It creates a little bit of traction when you open up your hands, traction for the bones in your fingers and your wrists. And then your head coming back around, bend the elbow, bring it around and press, flexing your chest, hand into the elbow and add a little resistance. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears too while you're flexing your chest. Get into the feels of the body, the sensations. And see now if you can cross the opposite leg up on top or the opposite ankle. And then bring your arms, give yourself a hug, hold onto your shoulders with your elbows up and then down towards the knee. Down towards your legs, spreading your breath across the upper back into the back ribs, loosening up your back ribs with your breath. You may feel this all the way down into your lower back and across your sacrum too. Lifting your elbows up and then opening it out. Fly like an eagle. And then release your legs. And roll the shoulders around. Some good stuff there, huh? Hands sliding to your knees around your back, a little cat-cow, and then pull your hands toward your hips, open your chest, lift your face, back and forth. That gliding in your sit bones and your hips, bringing in the mobility. Loosening up in between those vertebrae. And then sit for a moment and be the witness, feeling, connecting inside. And let's go ahead and stand up and face the seat of your chair. I'm feeling inspired to bring this down into our legs now that we've been seated for a while. So let's go ahead and bring your feet under your hips and then bend your knees. Snap, crackle, pop in the ankles maybe. And then straighten your legs without locking the knees back. Go back and forth here. And then keep your gaze looking forward. So we're not dropping the head or looking down. Just kind of feel into that. That'll start bringing in our balance. And then lift one heel up and then the other heel. So you're activating those little points, reflexology points in the soles of your feet. And if you could do this kind of like you're walking in place, you can feel the mobility. Give a little turn in your hips. We're going to bring it on up because we're still staying alive, staying alive. Back and forth. And then neutral, bend your knees and put your hands on the chair. Walk your feet in a little bit closer and then lift the leg, but not as high as you can. And then bend the knee and bring it in. Do these little bends and straights and gradually begin to open this up as you feel warm enough to do so. Coordinating it with your breath. The next time you extend your leg, let's hold that shape and then bring the heel towards the sit bone and extend it out. So you're contracting the back of your leg. Your belly muscle is pulling up towards the spine. I didn't mention that earlier. Keep that pulled in so you're supporting your back. And the foot that you're standing on, push down so that you're not hanging in that hip joint. You're using your muscles. And then let that go and bring your foot down under your hip. Slowly, gradually raise your other leg up. And then bring your knee in towards your belly. Back and forth and just start getting this sweeping mobility move here. Extend out through your leg and then heel towards sit bone and extend out. You can do points and flexes with your feet too. Getting the blood flowing through that back line of the body. And then bring your foot underneath you. And let's take this into some cat's cows. Exhale, bend your knees round your back. Ugh. Push into the chair so you really spread open those back vertebrae and the back ribs. And then straighten the legs, look forward, open your chest. Back and forth. Back into neutral and go from the the cow position. Extend, squeeze your shoulder blades together and then come up. So you're lifting from the chest instead of coming from the low back, and then roll the shoulders up, back and around. And let's turn and face the back of our chair. And you can hold lightly or just barely touch the chair, need it as needed, and then extend out through one foot. That move is kind of like this. It's going out to the side like we did when we were sitting in the chair. Go out, and let's go to the other side, out. And you add that staying alive move here as we're standing. When you're extending, spread your hand. And then when you're contracting, make a fist. So we're getting that circulation all the way out. Priming it like a pump. Here to pump you up. If you want to bring the leg up a little bit higher, you could. So you're working on those outer hip flexors, keeping them strong. Practice that one more time on each side. Feel the flow, feel the movement. And then let's take it into our right angle stretch. Step it back, the tabletop position with your spine. Open it up. Something that brings everything back home into neutral. Warrior one, step your right foot under the chair and position your left foot behind you in a comfortable place for your ankle and your foot. And then do that little turn of opening like you're coming into a warrior two, and then back into a warrior one. Feeling that in your hips and your pelvis. The next time your hip rotates forward, bring that same side arm up. Reach up and lean back so you're opening in your chest. Lean and reach over to the opposite side. So now you're in crescent moon, going over this long extension from your hand to your foot while you're opening up the ribs and the side of the low back. This is one of my favorite postures to come into, especially when I'm feeling a little bit jammed up. And take it back up, and then reach out in front of you with that same arm, and then turn it open and look behind you. And then turn it forward. Follow your hand with your eyes. Spread your bones of your hand apart as you're going back and forth. And one more practice time with breath. Ooh, and balance. And let's do a little reset. Transition back into your right angle stretch. Look forward and bring your left foot under the chair and reposition that right foot. And just feel into that. You may want to bend this knee a few times. Get into the comfort zone of your knee, and then let's open and close that right hip. Open like you're going into a warrior two and then into a warrior one. Our warrior twos usually have a different foot setup, but this is really good for working your way all the way around your hips and your pelvis. So back and forth. And the next time we turn to face forward, let's stay there and bring the right arm up. Reach up, open in your chest. Have your palm facing that midline. So turn your palm in. Feel that long stretch along that right side from your hand to your foot. Lifting your face up to lift up the energy, the inner chi, getting it up there. And then reach out in front of you and let's open, looking behind you. That open and close like you're opening a door. The palm pressing in and the back of the hand pressing out. The hips coming with you so you get that full benefit of rotation. Ooh. One more time. And then let's reposition to neutral. Come into your right angle stretch. Sitting back. And then stepping towards your chair. Release your hands and take your palms back behind you, palms facing each other, and hug your shoulder blades in. Give a big squeeze and a big lift in your chest. If you'd like to clasp your hands or hold on to a strap, you could do that too. Pulling your hands and your arms away from your tail. And then let it go. Rolling the shoulders up, back, and around. And let's come to the side of your chair just for an added balance here. So side of the chair is always here if we need it. Balance on that outside leg and bring the inside foot up. Let's hold it here. So we're building the strength back into our legs. You could do a little bend and straight with that standing leg if you'd like, depending on your knees. Then straighten the leg and some foot circles here. And then bring that leg out. So you're using the inner leg muscle and then towards the chair. So you're going to go back and forth towards the chair and then away from the chair. And mobility in the hips, strengthening in the legs. And then let that go. Standing on that other leg, the one that we were just working with, pick up the opposite knee so that outside knee comes up. Let's hold it here. Stand through your leg. So you're really pushing down to the floor. You're not collapsing and hanging out and in your hip. And then let that go. Let's come over to the other side. You can just move your chair or your body. And then stand on the outside leg and pick up the inside foot. And some points and flexes until you start to feel these muscles working for you. You could add that little bend and straight of the standing leg. If that's too much, don't do it. Can you coordinate? How's your brain doing with this? Can you coordinate bending and straightening with a bending and straightening of your leg? Then stand up tall and go in and out with the leg. If you need more range of motion, you could stand farther away from your chair too. That's another option. Keep your spine lifting and extending up so we're not slumping in our posture. And then stand down onto the leg we were working and pick up the other knee. Let's take some breaths here. Hold it up there, pull in your abs and push down through the floor. So your root to rising. You could test your balance out here too. Pick up your hand. How's your balance doing today? Or at least right now. And then let it go. Standing back behind your chair. Let's go into our right angle stretch again. Ooh, nice neutral position here. It's almost like we're doing a downward facing dog. Bend your knees, bring your right foot underneath the chair and set your left foot back. So we're going to have our legs straight now, push down and lift up your right toes. So the ball of the foot and heel are pressing into your mat and you're reaching through that back leg. Big lift in the chest. And then take that left arm up, reach back and bend the front knee. So you're back in warrior one once again. Big lift, arch in your chest. And then bring your hand down and walk your hands down, straighten the front leg. Walk your hands down so you're back in pyramid and shift. Spin your hips so your sit bones reach back behind you. Almost this sensation like you're hugging something between your thigh bones. Like if you were going to squeeze something between your knees, that kind of feel. Keep the front toes lifted. And then foot reset. Pick up this right foot, bring it under your hip, walk your hands around the chair, and then raise the left leg up. So we're back in that warrior shape here, warrior three shape here. Extend out and balance on that right foot. Keep pushing down through the standing leg, lift up out of your hip and pull your belly up. Lots of little details for support. And then bend your knees, both of them step. Your left foot under the chair and reset your right foot and stand yourself back up. Lifting up through the front toes, try to firm the muscles around your legs so you're hugging the bones. Your muscles are helping the joints, helping the bones. And then when you're ready, you can bring that right arm up again. Open and lift. Only raise your arm up as much as that feels comfortable to do so. And then bend the left knee, again, to the comfort of your knee and your joints. That little hug between your thighs is helpful here too. Helps stabilize all around the sacrum, the joints there. Reaching for the chair, coming into your pyramid. Sit back with your hips and bring your hands down and stretch and lengthen out the backs of your legs. Pyramid. Coming into your warrior three, pick up the left foot, climb around your chair as needed, and raise the right leg up. Extending your right leg away from your head so you can feel this long stretch from crown to foot. The standing leg rooting down to lift you up. And then bend both knees. Bring your feet under your hips. And let's come back up. Lift up. And let's do that little flow with the arms. Cactus arms. Bring them down. Reach up. Spread your fingers as far apart as you can. And then pull down. Make a fist this time. So we're going to pump it up. Reach up and pull down. Reach up and pull down. And we could add a little chair here. You could bend your knees like a little tiny baby chair or sit back into a bigger chair or into the big chair. And then letting it go, standing or sitting in mountain. What are the feels here? And let's go into full body prana move here. So just start wiggling, shaking your hands. I have a few different people that have told me they have arthritis in their hands, and shaking them out regularly really seems to help them. Feel if that's true for you, shaking it out. Maybe even shake a leg, maybe a full body wiggle. If you can touch your feet or come up and down, you could be that wild and crazy person. Maybe some twists and turns. Just kind of feel that. Shake and move it out. Maybe some of that staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive. And then let's come back into center. Feel the feels. I feel all tingly. Now let's make our way down. Turn your chair around. And let's make our way to the mat, down onto the floor. And sit down. And however you can make your way onto your back safely, please do so. And you can have this chair right in front of you. Once we're down, let's go ahead and bring our feet up onto the chair. Bring your shoulders down away from your neck. You could also put a blanket underneath your neck to support the neck. And let's go ahead and raise one leg up and then push the heel down on the chair and raise the other leg up. So these little bends and straights. The intention to build the energy in the back line of the leg when you're pushing down the heel, and then extension to open that back up again. So you're pumping the blood, moving the fascia that wraps all the way around everything in the body. That's where you get that stiffness and that stickiness. It's all adhered around muscles, joints, organs, bones. And once we practice that evenly, go in and out with your knees. Coming back to our hips. And then bring your feet a little bit farther away. So now your knees stack right above your hips. Push down into the chair and take your hands behind your head. We had a request for lots of core today, which we've been practicing. Go ahead on your exhale, Blow like you're blowing dandelion. How about that? Blow when you come up. Lifting your elbows up. And then breathe in, lower your upper spine and your head. And then exhale, blow out. Breathe in as you're coming down. So this in and out, feel the way that when you blow, it immediately helps you connect to the center core muscles. We could add a little twist here, blow out and then lean over to one side and then come back into neutral, breathe in through your nose and then blow out and twist over to the other side. Try to keep your head relaxing in your hands so you're not straining or pushing on your neck or pushing on your head. And once we've practiced evenly, go ahead and sit yourself back down. And let's go ahead and rub our hands, generate some of that friction and heat between the palms, getting the prana going. And then maybe a little shake of your hands, shaky, shaky, shaky. And then start to bring your hands closer and closer together. Your fingers are naturally shaping like you're going to hold an orb, a ball of energy in front of you. Right where you start to feel that prana between your hands, give yourself a couple of breaths. And do you want to bring this energy somewhere? Maybe it's on your face, maybe it's on your heart. Where do you want to bring that energy ball, prana ball? Start to deepen your breath so that you're absorbing it intentionally. You're bringing it in. And stretch your legs out. Comfortable position for your legs as you let go even more. And let the hands fall to the side. Making any shifts to your comfort so you can let go and release. Soften in the jaw and the face so your energy can freely move around inside of you. And let thoughts come, thoughts go. Bringing in a little intentional pranayama, an intentional breathing practice. Breathe in until you feel comfortably filled up. And we're going to separate our exhale into two places, two parts. Begin exhaling halfway through, stop. And then exhale it all the way out. When you're ready, breathe in until you feel comfortably full. Holding at the top, that little kumbhaka, a little pause. And then exhale halfway out. Hold for a moment and then exhale all the way out. And then breathing in, nice fresh breath. Pausing at the top for a moment. And then exhale halfway out. Pause. And then all the way out. And then releasing the breathing practice and take a few moments to feel and witness what's here now. From this open place, is there an intention that you'd like to bring with you today off of your mat? Or if you're practicing in the evening, to take with you later on as you start to wind your day down? And whatever comes to you, just honoring that, acknowledging that, tucking that into your heart and into your awareness. Stimulating your hands and your feet. And when you're ready, go ahead and slowly start to move once again. Now rolling to the side. Take a moment on your side if you're here on your back with us. If you're sitting in the chair, just move your body. And then make your way up to all fours. We're going to do this little practice of getting up safely. So make your way onto your hands and your knees. Bring your hands up to the chair, and with your strongest leg, let's go ahead and step up and then take a seat in the chair. So however long that takes you to come stand yourself back up, join us in taking a seat and witnessing, being in this moment in time. Feeling the aliveness. And bringing your hands together at your heart, and taking a moment to acknowledge the teachers, the wise ones that live inside and outside of you. Gratitudes to the practice of yoga that have come through time, the ancient wisdom that we get to benefit from, come from South Asia, different culture, coming in and really helping us unite and connect your body, mind, and spirit. Thank you for allowing me to join you in this practice, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.